Bang, and you had this big explosion, and we have stars, galaxies, planets, hang on. And then all of a sudden, we created a planet with a nebula hypothesis, and from that planet we had the rocks, it rained in the rocks millions of years, and then those chemicals came together for life. Yes, evolution is that argument. Now you can say it doesn't.
Big Bang is cosmology.
You can start with life that way, but you're making an argument against the law. Evolution says everything is random time plus chance. Now you're trying to say that life evolved, didn't evolve, we have life to begin with. The question I would ask, okay then, how did that life come about?
You're misapplying theory of evolution to the Big Bang
That's
theory.
cosmology.
They have nothing to do with each other. They're two separate entities. Darwin didn't discuss, Darwin didn't discuss the Big Bang theory in his theory of evolution. They have nothing to do with each other.
But the future scientists did. Okay, so that's the point. If you look at the current evolutionary thought, you're gonna realize they start with the Big Bang. You look at the biology textbooks, and they start with the Big Bang. So
but it's still a separate theory.
So but it's a continuation.
And I was under the impression that it's not.
If your creation theory was up to the point where God or Creator or aliens created the first amino acids and put them in the water, evolution would still work. Even if your creation theory worked up to that point, you want to say that evolution is completely wrong, and you want to say that he put this creator put everything here the way it is, with some room for genetic variation, but within species, and keeping the species the same. Dogs still be dogs, fruit flies still be fruit flies. You're saying that this creator put these things here the way they are, and for some reason spent billions of years piddling around until he decided to measure this stuff.
I'm not saying that.
Then what are you saying? Are you saying that evolution
that's a different
is
point.
wrong?
You're asking the question what I believe.
Are you saying evolution is completely wrong?
Well, hang on. One thing, evolution, even, I'm going to give you, let's say that you have life. You're still not going to get evolution.
Why?
The laws still want to support it.
What laws? Give me an example of a law that wants to
The
support
laws
it.
of genetics won't support it.
What laws?
The law of
Mutate.
genetics
Genetics are conserved.
The laws of genetics won't support it.
Genes
The
are
law of
Specific. Why
Tell
won't genetics support it?
Okay, hang on a second.
These two do this to me too.
Hit him with the hook. Hit him with a hook.
What law?
Give me an example. Give me an example right now, David. We have two dogs and you breed a non-dog. Now, when you win the case, I'll leave right now. Give me an example in life. Anybody.
Because
Give me one example where you see two birds mate as a non-breed. Give me an example where two dogs mate as non-dog. Please, and then you win.
That would be evidence against evolution. That would be evidence against it.
Evolution says that you have to, at some point in time, breed two dogs and get a non-dog.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Obviously, you know nothing about the theory of evolution.
Rich, wait a minute.
You've got an
Ding, ding, ding.
internal contradiction is your problem. You're trying to say evolution is not apply until we have life.
Right.
But evolution demands you get new species.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speciation.
Where do you see new species or interim species in the fossil record?
Try this.
All the time.
All the time. Every species is a transitional
Name
fossil.
one.
Every species is a transitional fossil.
Okay, rabbit. Go ahead.
Show me one fossil of a rabbit in the Precambrian strata, and I'll tell you evolution's wrong. Show me one.
There we go.
There are
Show me a
literally
fossil of
thousands
a rabbit
thousands of examples
that
of
is
animals
different
that
than it is now,
exist
maybe
now that
half of
didn't
this or
exist.
half of that.
There's no have to do
What did the rabbit
I have an
evolve
example.
You're trying to, you have a misconception about evolution. That's not how it works. Every fossil is a transition. We right now are a transition between what was before us and what will come after us. Every organism is a transition.
Then why would I look at a fossil record?
There is no half anything.
Then
There's no half. There are no crocodiles. Okay, there are no
millions-of-year-old ants,
okay, there's no
millions-of-year-old cockroaches, hundreds of thousands-of-year-old bats.
Now,
Transition.
try this. Take a rat. Take a rat. Okay. A rat.
Hang on. I'm with Alex.
Well, I'm not having fun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not learning
apologize.
anything when you're talking
I'm not
over each
either.
other.
Okay.
I'm not having fun with you.
We just have concise questions,
I'm
and
having
then
fun.
we'll pass it on for
Go
this
with
answer,
what you were
best
saying.
answer. He'll answer your question, and you give a rebuttal.
Go with what you were saying.
I would like my original question answered. What are the arguments against creation theory?
Yeah,
What
that's the original
are the
question.
arguments against intelligent design?
Hold on,
And I would like that
What
question.
evidence would you accept that would change your mind about what you believe?
Simplicity.
Can you elaborate?
Well, that's philosophical.
Yeah, 19th century concept of the cell. A blob of jello. No complexity to it whatsoever.
Right.
Very simple. But the problem is the deeper we look, the more complexity we find.
Actually,
I think
it isn't.
you're
The deeper we look, it's more randomized.
operating from the assumption that complexity automatically implies design.
The more complex you are, the lower the probability of chance.
Even Dawkins says that.
The higher the complexity, the lower the probability. The deeper we go, the higher the complexity. Every time we go deeper and find more complexity, we are destroying probability of chance.
No.
No.
Here's your problem with probability.
Go ahead.
The probability of, say, a rabbit evolving is very, very low. Granted. But rabbits did evolve.
Yeah, there's still.
No. That's an assumption.
Okay. The probability of yesterday's lotto numbers hitting, very, very low. But the probability that some lotto numbers were going to hit yesterday, 100%.
Right, I agree.
Okay, so you are looking at what exists now and saying that was the goal and the probability of reaching that goal.
No, wait a minute. In order to use the word goal, you've got to assume design.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying you're doing.
Okay? I'm not saying there was a goal.
I think you are. You're not. You may not understand what you're saying, but
No, you
basically.
see, I'm not saying that there is a designer who designed the universe and things evolved up to humanity. And we're at the top of the food chain. What I am saying is we were made exactly the way we are.
Yeah.
I see no evidence of evolution of man in the fossil
I
record.
understand that. And you're applying that same assumption to evolutionary theory. And it doesn't jive.
What I'm saying is if I don't see it, and nobody else sees it, there's a good probability it isn't there.
We see it back
You don't see
all the
it.
time.
The books you read don't see it.
All right, let me ask you
You
a
can't see
question.
when it was created.
What fossil is evidence of the evolution of man?
Lots of opens, the Smithsonian.
Okay.
You want an example of a fossil that proves evolution?
Of man.
Any sort of
Of
change?
man. I mean, the question is of man right
Okay, okay. I've even better one. When I die and I become bones and everything, I think I'll be a pretty good example because it just so happens that even though I don't have a fully formed sixth digit on my foot, I have a sixth bone in my foot.
What does that
That is a
improve?
change. That is a change.
What does that improve?
But it's a mutation.
No,
It's
evolution
mutation.
says
Yes.
improvement.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No,
No,
it's
it
just
doesn't.
what
It
Ben.
means what it means is-
Hang on,
No.
one person explain it.
Okay, if it is an improvement, if it does give her an advantage to survive in her environment, then that characteristic, when she procreates, that characteristic will be passed on. If she didn't have that and she wasn't able to survive in her environment, then the lack of that characteristic would die
What if
with
she
her. But
can
then other
survive in
people
her
won't.
environment and it doesn't pass on because
That's
it's a
right.
mutation?
Well,
Is that
it's a
evolution?
mutation.
Oh.
Some mutations
Yeah.
will pass on regardless. Okay, let's say she
Mutations
has,
affect the germ
let's say
line.
she has a lack of, but
No,
she's
let's not say a
fairly
lack
scary
of. Let's take the fossil record. Where do you see a fossil that establishes change in man in evolution?
Oh, that was my comment. My
Oh.
comment was certain, but you can still find that at the Smithsonian, they have little tiny changes. I just wanted to say
Oh,
that.
we'd love to go through those with you.
I just want to say that Richard Dawkins is not the end-all be-all.
I agree.
And, you know,
I agree.
and he's, with
And
his
neither is Charles
beams, he
Darwin.
comes up
We agree.
with beams and all this other stuff, and
That's fine.
sometimes he suggests the back door into God and all this, so he's not the end-all
I'll use
be-all.
Gould, I'll use Valentine, I'll use Simpson, I'll use Wald, I mean, I'll use a bunch, I've read a bunch of these guys,
Okay.
it's not like I just one, I can use a bunch of evolutionists, guys.